She whispered, "Don't touch me tonight." The words hung in the darkness like a stone dropped into still water. I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, wondering how two people who once couldn't keep their hands off each other had arrived at this hollow silence. Her name was Claire. We'd been married for 7 years, and in those early days, every evening felt electric. The smallest glance, the softest laugh, even brushing past her in the kitchen had set my pulse racing. But slowly, without warning, the warmth faded. Affection turned into routine, and routine turned into distance. At first, I told myself it was stress. Work had been pressing on her, and I thought maybe once the storm passed, she'd come back to me. I bought flowers, cooked dinners, left small notes on the mirror, all in the hope she'd see I was still here, still wanting her. But every gesture met the same response. A smile that didn't reach her eyes, a polite thank you, and then another night facing the wall with her back to me. Last night was different. She didn't just turn away. She didn't just let the silence answer. She whispered the words, soft but sharp. "Don't touch me tonight." I lay there in the dark, breathing slowly, replaying the years. I thought about the honeymoon where we got lost in Rome and laughed until our sides hurt. I thought about the way she used to fall asleep on my chest, her hand gripping my shirt like she never wanted to let go. And then I thought about how, somewhere along the line, she stopped holding on. I wanted to ask her why. I wanted to roll over, pull her close, and demand the truth. But my chest felt heavy, as if a weight had settled inside me, making even words impossible. So instead, I whispered nothing. That night, I barely slept. I listened to the rhythm of her breathing, slow and steady, like she had no idea the sentence she'd spoken had cracked something deep inside me. Every tick of the clock was another reminder that time was moving forward. But we weren't. By the time the first light crept through the blinds, I had made a decision. I couldn't keep waiting for her to come back to a marriage she'd already left. I couldn't keep living in the shadow of who we used to be. She stirred when I sat up, rubbing her eyes like it was just another morning. For a moment, I almost convinced myself to stay silent, to carry the weight another day. But then I remembered the cold whisper from the night before. So I leaned down, my voice steady though my heart trembled. I whispered one word that felt like both surrender and freedom. "Goodbye." Her eyes widened. She didn't speak, didn't reach out. Maybe she didn't know what to say. Or maybe, deep down, she'd been waiting for me to say it. I walked out of the bedroom without looking back. The air felt heavier than it should have, each step echoing louder in my head than on the hardwood floor. My suitcase was still in the closet, buried under layers of dust and years of compromise. I pulled it out, shaking off the weight of neglect, and began to pack. Every shirt folded was a memory. Every pair of shoes a reminder of moments when love had been enough. But love, at least the way I understood it, couldn't survive on silence. It couldn't breathe in a house where intimacy was rationed like some rare commodity. I thought she might come after me. I half expected to hear her voice, "Wait, let's talk." Or maybe even, "I didn't mean it." But the house stayed quiet, as if the walls themselves had already accepted my departure. By the time I zipped the suitcase, the sun was higher, spilling light across the kitchen table where we used to eat breakfast together. I remembered mornings with pancakes and laughter, when her hair was messy and her smile was effortless. The table was bare now, just like us, stripped of the little things that once made everything feel alive. I paused at the doorway, my hand on the knob. This was the moment, the point of no return. I could have left a note, or I could have tried once more to explain how her coldness had been slicing me open night after night. But the truth was, she knew. She had to know. You don't whisper, "Don't touch me," to someone who's blind to your distance. You whisper it when you've already decided that closeness isn't worth the effort anymore. So I stepped outside. The morning air hit my face, crisp and unforgiving, but somehow it felt cleaner than the air inside that house. I loaded the suitcase into the trunk and slid behind the wheel. For a long moment, I just sat there, hands gripping the steering wheel, watching the front door. Still nothing. No rush to the doorway, no desperate plea. Just silence. It hurt, but it also confirmed everything I needed to know. I wasn't leaving something whole behind. I was walking away from something already broken. As I drove, I thought about the man I used to be, the one who fought for her, who believed that love could fix anything if you held on tightly enough. That man had been fading for years, and last night's whisper was the final push into the abyss. Goodbye wasn't just a word. It was an ending and a beginning all at once. An ending to the endless rejection, to the nights spent begging for scraps of affection, and a beginning to rediscovering who I was when I wasn't defined by her distance. I didn't know where I was headed, or what tomorrow would look like. All I knew was that sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is stop clinging to someone who's already let go. And so, I whispered it again, this time to myself, steady and certain. Goodbye.